EastMojo's daily evening news bulletin update. We bring you the latest and biggest happenings from east and northeast of India. I'm Simran Bajaj. I'll be your host for today, and I'll also be giving you updates from Assam. We're being joined by our state correspondents. We have Vangamla Salikapai from Manipur, Chandan Pandey from Tripura, Irani Sonowal Lepcha from Arunachal Pradesh, and Medolino Ambrosia from Nagaland. So let's start today's show, and let's first get the latest updates from from Sally from Manipur. So, Sally, can you give us the COVID-19 updates that you have so far?
Yes, a very good evening, Simran, from Imphal.
From
Yes,
Manipur.
from yesterday's statement, which was released by the State Health Department, new 40 cases have been detected for COVID-19. So that takes us to the total confirmed cases up to 1,430. But fortunately, the recovered cases has been surpassed the active cases, because yesterday another 37% which were infected with the virus has been discharged from the hospitals. So now we have got total active cases is 659, and the recovered cases stands at 771. And according to the State Health Additional Director, Dr. Mangang, he said that the recovery rate has also increased. Now it has increased up to 53.91. That is the current recovery rate in Manipur right now. And Simran, since we are still in the COVID-19 topic, I wanted to highlight one of the issues which happened on July 5th. But so this 21-year-old girl who had returned from Mumbai recently, unfortunately tested positive on July 5th after completing her institutional quarantine center for 14 days and another 14 days at the community quarantine center. So what happened was, this girl, when she was at the institutional quarantine center, her sample was in fact collected, but she did not receive a result of the samples. So before receiving results, she was shifted to the community quarantine center, which is at her village, that is at Humpung village. So she stayed there for 14 days along with other 30 inmates. And what happened was, when the 14 days quarantine center for the community center got over, and this inmate supposed to live for home quarantine for another 7 days, that's where this girl's friend informed to the management of the village quarantine center that her friend is yet to receive a sample, yet to receive a test which was collected when she was at the institutional quarantine center. So they got panicked, but still then they have to resolve the issues. So the management, which is like this specific center, this village quarantine center, has been, overseen by the Tungray Public Organization, which is the organization from the specific village. So the executive of this DBO had consulted with the state health officials, and then they started requesting the officials for another sample, which eventually happened on, that is like on her 38 days when she was at the quarantine center. That's what I've been told. So yes, the sample was collected on July 2nd. However, what happened was, since the other inmates from the community center had already left for their home quarantine, so this girl was left alone at the quarantine by herself. And the committee of this TBO committee, as well as the state health officials, since she was all alone, and then the girl also like not having any kind of symptoms for COVID-19, and then that was like on July 5th, she had already completed 41 days. 14 days is the mandatory quarantine center, but she completed 41 days without receiving a single result from that two samples. So the DPO executive had consulted with the district medical department, and they told them that since she was not having any certain symptoms for COVID-19, maybe she should go home. So yeah, with the consultation of the district health department, this girl was sent home on July 5th. Now, unfortunately, it's just a matter of 4 to 5 hours, because I was told that she left the community quarantine center around 2 p.m. in the evening, in the afternoon. And the result came after 7 p.m. on that specific day. And it was shown that she was tested positive. So they got panicked. And by then, she was already at home. And then definitely, if we have a kind of the set of family that we have is like, people started coming and then meeting the girl. So the committee of the DBO also got panic, the officials got panic, and then they started tracing down the girls. And definitely, she was taken back to the DK Wood COVID Care Center in district itself on that specific day. But within that specific few hours, she had already, contacts with a lot of people. And when the DPO committee had traced down the contact, they could actually found 15 primary contacts. So immediately they put them on the lockdown, and then on the next day, yesterday, the district deputy commissioner issued a statement that the Tungray is the specific where the girl was quarantined, the community quarantine center. So the district deputy commissioner had issued a notification that the whole Tungray, which has the consists of 10 localities, should be locked down. So since yesterday onwards, till the further notice, this specific Dungray locality is under lockdown, is on the containment zone at the moment. Simran.
Well, indeed, 41 days without, after 41 days, I mean, spending 41 days in a quarantine center and then finally let off going home and then testing positive. That's quite a dilemma. Not just, I'm sure it must have been a troublesome task for the girl herself, because she's already been in quarantine for 41 days, and also for the family who finally got to meet her and the district administration. Now, the slowdown or the lackadaisical behavior that we've seen in conducting the test and not giving the report to the girl for this long, well, that's something that should be definitely looked into.
Yeah,
Anyhow,
I wanted
Sally,
to add one more thing. So sorry, I wanted
yes,
to add.
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
definitely, because even the health department are kind of confused because since the time she was at the institutional quarantine, she was not showing any symptoms, right? So now they have tracing down the contacts, and they are also trying to find out how she actually infected with a virus. In fact, the specific quarantine center where she was at one time, that specific quarantine was somehow tested positive. So it happens to be under the containment zones. But they are not sure whether the girl actually infected the virus from the institutional quarantine, or maybe when she shifted to the village quarantine center. But definitely it would not be from the village quarantine center, because the specific community center has not tested any positive as of now. So likely she might have infected from the institutional quarantine center. That's what people are actually expecting, or suspecting at the moment. Simran.
Definitely. Thank you for that update, Sally. Also, in like 530 youth have been inducted in Delhi, out of which 63 are from Northeast. So, can you tell us more about that incident?
Yeah. In fact, it's not only 63 from the north, it's 63 are from Manipur. 63 youths has been inducted as part of the Delhi police as a constables. But yesterday, altogether, 530 youths from various parts of Northeast. In fact, that's like from the 8 states of Northeast has been inducted as part of the Delhi police as a constables. So altogether now, they say that it's 1,090 from Northeast, from 90 police personnel belonging to Northeast states are part of Delhi police. Some are in various ranks. So not all the 1,090 youth from the Northeast are like, the constable, but they are in a different ranks and different positions. And this specific Delhi Police special Northeast cell was established with the recommendations of with the implementation of Best Korea committee. With the recommendation of the Ministry of Home Affairs. That's what I've been told. So yes, definitely, I spoke with one of the young youth from Manipur who are also part of this Delhi Police, which was inducted, and they had a passing off period yesterday in Delhi itself. So yes, he did mention that it was kind of a dream come true for him, because since the very childhood he wanted to be part of the military forces, and finally he is part of the Delhi Police. But he did mention that he's not going to stop with this certain achievement, but he is going to work hard so that he can also climb up to the higher position. That's what I've been told. So it's a very good news that we have our presence in Delhi Police as well. Simran.
Well, indeed, it's a very good news, Sally. And that's a wrap from Manipur. Thank you so much for your time, Sally. Now, I would like to give our viewers the latest updates from Assam. So, in just today, that's on 8th July, at least 5 deaths have been reported from Assam, and that's the highest number of deaths reported in a single day from Assam. So, to tell you about the deaths, the last was a 30-year-old Jitendra Prasad from Udalguri. The deceased was admitted to Tezpur Medical College on July 7th, and he's just 30 years old. He passed away. He became a victim of COVID-19. And earlier in the wee hours of July 8th, that's in early morning between 2 a.m. to 5 p.m., another 4 people have passed away due to COVID-19. Now, these people have been identified as Safiqul Rahman of Hidayatpur, Guwahati, Ramani Mazumdar of Borpeta district, Utpal Kumar Chalia from Dispur, Hari Prasad Mandal, again from Guwahati. They were all admitted in Guwahati Medical College COVID ICU, and they were critical, and they all passed away due to comorbidities and the infection. So, with that, Assam's total COVID-19 death has now reached 21. We've also seen that yesterday, 2 COVID-19 deaths were reported in Assam. So, with that, since yesterday, at least 7 confirmed deaths have been reported in Assam. Now, there are no new figures in terms of the number of cases, but the latest update, that is at 11:40 p.m. last night from Assam's Health Minister, Dr. Himanta Biswa Sarma, states that Assam is at 13,336 total reported cases of COVID-19, of which 8,329 have already been discharged. This is all updates as per last night. 4,988 people remain as active cases. Not taking into account the 5 deaths reported today, till last night there were 16 deaths and 3 people migrated to other states. Now, Assam has surpassed a lot of other bigger states in terms of COVID-19 cases. Also, in yesterday's day itself, 814 new cases were reported from the state, of which around 600, that is 588 cases, are from Guwahati city itself. Now, let me tell you, today is July 8th, and Guwahati is currently under a very stringent 2 weeks lockdown, complete lockdown. The first week of the lockdown in Guwahati was even more stringent than the lockdown one, as even grocery shops were not open. However, during the second week, we've been given some relaxations, and standalone grocery shops have been reopened. However, for vegetable vendings, there were only prescribed days, and I think today is Wednesday, so the 2 days given for door-to-door selling of vegetable is over technically, and that's what we have from Assam. And the minister has, expressing concern. He said that numbers are not encouraging. Self-control is critical. So we've seen that earlier the highest number of cases reported in a single day was around 300 or something in Assam. And sometime in the last week, it's crossed more than around 1,200 cases in a single day. So the speed at which new COVID-19 cases are being detected in the state is alarming. And like the minister has appealed, that self-control is critical, stepping out, avoid stepping out unless it's absolutely necessary. In fact, in Jorhat, also a 1 week lockdown has been imposed, given the rise in the number of COVID-19 cases. So that's the update that we have from Assam. Now let's head to Irani from Arunachal Pradesh. So Irani, a healthcare worker today has been tested positive for COVID-19. Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, hi Simran. So again, there is no electricity in my colony in Itanagar. After one healthcare worker of the Tomoriba Institute of Health and Medical Sciences in Naharlagan, TRIMS, tested positive for COVID-19 yesterday evening, the management of TRIMS decided to shut down the hospital premises, including OPD, emergency operations and labor room for 3 days. That's starting from today, that is 8 June to 10th June. In these 3 days, there will be screening of all the health workers of the hospital, and also
the hospital will be sanitized properly. And this is the fifth case in the state where a frontline worker tested positive for COVID-19. Earlier, two health workers from East Yang district tested coronavirus positive, and those were from the quarantine facility and COVID care center. And last month itself, on 29 June, another two health workers from State Quarantine Center and COVID Care Center in Leki village near Naharlagun area, which is in Papumpare district, they also tested positive. And I also want to tell our viewers that meanwhile, a 27-year-old lady constable from the office of the SP, the Superintendent of Police, on Tuesday evening, that is yesterday, tested positive for COVID-19, after which the SP office was sealed. And surprisingly, she has no travel history and always was in the office for duty since the first countrywide lockdown. And she never was on her duty in a check gate or Naka. So that's quite surprising for everyone. So the contact tracing has started, and all the police personnel are, the doctors are screening them. And Simran.
So, what's the exact number right now in Arunachal Pradesh in terms of total cases?
So the total number of active cases as of now in the state till yesterday 10 p.m. is 169, and total recovered is 105, and with two deaths, the state tally is at 276.
Okay, thank you. And meanwhile, Irani, a report has emerged today, it's already live on our website, that a 22-year-old girl was allegedly molested by a priest of Don Bosco Youth Center in Itanagar. Can you tell us more about that incident?
Yeah, so that 22-year-old girl was staying in that Don Bosco Youth Center for a vocational course in English and personality development since March. And in mid-June, so the incident happened, and on 15 June, an FIR was filed by the victim at the Women Police Station in Itanagar, and a case has been registered against the accused, which is a Father C. Pulin Thayam, something, I cannot even pronounce his name properly, it's very long. And while confirming this incident, SP Capital Complex, Pune Amo, has said that a case under Section 354 of IPC has been registered at the Women Police Station in Itanagar. And there have been quite, the women activists quite vocal, and they have took it to the Twitter to inform the National Commission of Women in India, and the people of Arunachal is also hoping for justice for this 22-year-old girl.
Thank
Simran?
you. Thank you so
Yeah.
much for that update, Irani. Definitely, the guilty must be punished. And to highlight, this incident took place in June, but this father, the priest, the accused over here in this particular case, was released because, like it's mentioned in the report, because his COVID-19 test was not done. He's out on a bail, and
Yes.
that's I don't know. I don't know how to put it in words. That's amazing. Anyhow, moving on, I would like to give our viewers the latest COVID-19 updates from Mizoram for today. So, today in Mizoram, 3 new COVID-19 cases were reported, and 4 patients were discharged. And with that, the total number of cases in the state is 201, out of which 143 have already been cured and discharged. 58 remain as active patients. And Mizoram, luckily, has so far not even reported a single COVID-19 related death. So, as we can see, that approximately it's around 70% or so is the recovery rate in Mizoram. And that's what we have. Moving on, let's get the latest updates from Meadow from Nagaland. So, Meadow, landslides due to incessant rain. There was a landslide in Nagaland which led to a death of a person. Can you tell us more about that?
Thank you, Simran. So, unfortunate incident happened this morning where a landslide, which was caused by the incessant rain here in the state, has led to the death of a person in Zunheboto district. This incident happened near Kilomi to Kyuvi village, which is under Sataka subdivision of Zunheboto. So, as I spoke to the SP Zunheboto, he informed that the vehicle carrying two persons, a 70-year-old man and his son, a 50-year-old man, got stuck in the muddy road at around 11 p.m. That was last night, and since the vehicle was stuck there, they decided to stay back there in the road. And unfortunately, the incident happened around 1 to 1:30 a.m., where the vehicle, because of the landslide, fell 10 feet below the national highway. This is the national highway too, and we also informed that a two-lane highway project is on the process along the stretch. And the SP also mentioned that this particular, this stretch along the national highway and also other parts of Zunheboto are prone to landslides. So unfortunately, in this incident, the 70-year-old man had passed away, and the son, the 50-year-old man, succumbed to injury, and he was shifted to the nearest primary health center near Sataka. And after he was treated with the first aid, he was shifted to the civil hospital. That's what we were informed in this regard, Simran.
Thank you for that update about that incident. Also, Meadow, given the number of COVID-19 cases, the way new cases are being reported in Nagaland, the State Department is considering for a total lockdown. Can you tell us more about that?
Yes, Simran. So as of today, our state has reported 657 total COVID cases. Now, this is in addition to the 13 new cases that were reported today. And out of this 13 new cases, one is a healthcare worker who was tested positive in Kohima, and the active cases is at 353, and the number of recovered cases at 304. One person recovered this evening, so this has taken the recovered cases to 304, and our recovery rate is at 46%. But Simran, if we see there, is a spike in the number of COVID-19 cases, and the spike is not only happening in the quarantine centers, which is becoming a concern. So it's happening among healthcare workers, and of course, this is not a community transmission, according to what the nodal officer, Dr. Nyang, has informed, because the healthcare worker, the frontline worker who tested positive this morning in Kohima was also in the the contact list of another frontline worker who was tested positive recently. So he very clearly informed that there is no instance of community transmission here in the state. However, in regard, there is a spike in the number of COVID cases, and this has created a concern among the people, fearing that the spread might lead even further beyond the quarantine centers and in the community. So in this regard, when I contacted the spokesperson for COVID-19, he informed that the state government, they have asked the medical department to give a clear assessment report on if the state should qualify for a total lockdown. So as I contacted the nodal officer, he told me that they are in the midst of a meeting, because they have also received the information from the state government to assess the report if the state qualifies to undergo a total lockdown, considering the spike in the number of cases, not just here in Kohima, but in Paran and in Mon as well. So there is a revision in certain SOPs regarding containment zones as well, which is yet to be out, but the medical department, they have also earlier informed that there will be certain revisions and modifications made in the SOPs. Likewise, whether a total lockdown will be imposed in the state or not, maybe in a day or two, we will get a clear information from the department and from the state government. But as of now, the state government has asked the medical department to give the assessment on if the state qualifies for a total lockdown. Simran.
Thank you so much for that update, Meadow. Meanwhile, there's breaking news coming in. So, President of All India Mahila Congress, Sushmita Dev, who is a former MP from Assam, she has tested positive for COVID-19. updates are awaited on this, and there'll be a copy shortly live on our website. Um, let's head on to Chandan from Tripura. And since we're talking about COVID-19, first let's start with COVID-19, Chandan.
Thank you, Simple. Tripura yesterday reported 24 more cases, with which now the total number of cases stands at 1,716. Also, to inform you that the state now has a total of 457 active cases. When it comes to recovered number of people who have recovered so far, the number is 1,248, while 13% had migrated and 1% died of fighting COVID-19. To also inform you that yesterday the law minister Ratan Lal Nath informed us that the state government in its cabinet meeting on Tuesday they decided that we already know that the state government is collecting the samples of all the people returning to the state, but now what they have decided is they will start testing people using a new system which is called antigen kits, which most of the states have already started using. So now they have decided to use this kit because we know that the RTR PCR kit, which is being used in all the states, that takes a lot of time, around 7 to 8 hours it takes to give the report of a sample tested. Whereas if they use an antigen kit, this will give the report within 1 to 2 hours time. So he also said that the people returning to the state from all the checkpoints, including the MBB airport, railway station, and Churaibari, which is connecting Assam and Tripura. So people who will enter to the state, their samples will be collected. They will be put on hold so that the samples collected are tested in their presence, and once the samples reports come, they will be allowed to move further for their house or wherever they are going to. And if they test positive, from there on they will be taken to the COVID care center. This is what Ratan Lal Nath has informed. He also said that the state government had a requirement of 40,000 those kits, of which the state government has received 15,000 kits, and the state has already started testing samples using those kits. Adding that, he said that the state government has decided now, since we have received only 15,000 kits out of the 40,000 required, so now the government will start the sample collection from the containment zone. Tripura presently has 28 containment zone, of which, to give you the breakup, Tripura has a total of 28 containment zone, which includes 13 in Gomti district, 7 in Sipai Jala, 2 in West, 4 in South, and 2 in Dhalai district. This is the total number of containment zone that we have in our state. In those containment zone, there are about 7,629 people from 1,548 families. They reside there in those containment zone. So now what the government will do is they will start collecting samples of each and every person who are residing in those 28 containment zone, and also people of the various hospitals who are working in the front line, like the health staff, people visiting the hospital with symptoms, their sample will be tested, 100% sample will be tested using these new kits. This is what the minister has informed. Simran.
Thank you so much for that update. Chandan, I would like to ask you one thing about the antigen test. So, in case they're positive, they're considered true positive. So, in case the result for a person tested using these updated kits is negative, is a second test required in the state?
Yes, he also confirmed this. Yes, if somebody tests positive, they will be taken to the COVID care center. But if the sample tests negative, those sample will be again sent to Agartala, where we have a single lab, as we have been mentioning again and again. There, the sample will be again retested, and if they test positive, then we know the procedure. They will be taken back to the COVID care center. Simran.
Okay, thank you so much for that update. Meanwhile, also, BJP's ally, IPFT, has called for a 24-hour strike. Can you tell us what is this about?
Yes, Simran, if our viewers remember, we have been covering this issue that TTADC election, Tripura Tribal Areas Autonomous District Council, which comprises around 98% of the total geographical area that the state has. So now we know that the ADC elections are likely to take place anytime soon once this pandemic is over. So what we can see following these ADC elections and the preparation, there is a sense of tension between both the parties. BJP and IPFT both are the partners, ruling partners in the government, present state government. However, after 2018 election, now we can see the Lok Sabha election, the IPFT and BJP decided to go separately, where BJP won both the seats of Lok Sabha. And IPFT, though they got some good vote, where the revenue minister and the chief of the IPFT party, he contested in this election and he secured quite a good vote. So what we saw now with the ADC coming forward, IPFT party being an indigenous party which was formed with an ideology of a separate land, Tripura land, now they want to grow there in the ADC because the party is an indigenous party, as I'm saying it again and again. So now the BJP wants to take over the ADC, which was being ruled by the left front government, CPIM, for the past many years. So now there is a contest between both the parties. Both the parties want to take over the ADC whenever the election takes place. On July 1st last, there was an incident in ADC, TTADC Khumlung, which is the headquarters of ADC. A BJP party office was set on fire by some miscreants, which the BJP claimed that was backed by the IPFT party, which is their partner. So now what we saw in connection to that incident, an FIR was registered against some of the leaders and workers of IPFT party. Following that FIR, Tripura police yesterday in the VR, they arrested one party supporter from Khumlung, whose name is Pradeep Debarma. So following his arrest, and meeting was held yesterday in IPFT party chief's place, which is NC Debarma, Narendra Chandra Debarma. And there, the central committee members, they decided to hold a 24-hour strike in the TTADC Khumlung. So now they have a demand that the case and charges taken over him has to be taken back and he has to be released without any condition, or else this protest will be spreaded across the entire TTADC area, which is almost 68% of the state. So this is something coming in from IPFT party, Tripura.
Thank you so much for that update, Chandan. So now this 24-hour strike, when are they planning to start it?
Yeah, the protest will start tomorrow, July 9th, from 6 a.m. and it will continue till the next day, 6 a.m. However, they said that since the state and the nation is fighting COVID pandemic, so there will be some relief for the emergency services like ambulance, fire service, and police officials. They can move around, and nothing else than that. They have clearly said nothing else than the emergency service will be allowed on those 24 hours. And if the demand by the IPFT party is not accepted, then they will hold further protest, and this will continue in the state. Simran.
Thank you so much for that update, Chandan. And with that, we come to an end for today's show. I would like to thank our viewers for constantly watching and supporting us. All the stories that we've discussed are already live on our website or will be very shortly live on our website. You can read them at www.eastmojo.com. Also, if you have any ideas, suggestions, you can send it across at editor@eastmojo.com. Also, we have a very active fact-checking team. So in case you come across any video, photo, or information that looks unauthentic, so you can send it across to us again via email at editor@eastmojo.com, or you could also send it to us through our Facebook page. I would like to request all our viewers that please stay connected with us through Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. This is all. I'm Simran Bajaj, signing off for today.